Aizu neska mutilak, guztioi pelikulak, seriak eta sinema gustatzen zaigu. Deritzoguna zazpigarren artea. Baina pelikula bat egitea ez da soilik ikusten dena. Ehunaka edo milaka ordu daude pelikula baten atzean. Hainbat pertsonak lan egiten dute proiektu horretan, eta proiektu batzuen etekinak milioitan zenbatzen ditu. Baina barrutik nola da grabatzea eta egitea pelikula bat? Hau izan da Sarean Ikusitakoa. Eta horrela da nola pelikula bat ikusten da barrutik. Ia ba.
Shows is more complicated than you may think. Long before the cameras start rolling, there is a considerable amount of prep work that goes into finding the correct landscape, actors.
Dugu nola ia beti filmeak engainezten gaituzte.
Scriptwriters, directors, makeup artists, computer graphic artists, camera crews, and the list goes on. In this video, we'll go over a general overview of how today's movies and high-end television shows are made, and some changes the industry is making in a post-coronavirus world to take advantage of today's best technologies.
Eta hori egia da, teknologiarekin batera, filmek izan duten aurrerapen teknologikoa eta efektu berezien garapena oso handia izan da. Movie University.
Welcome to Movie University. On this channel, we explore various aspects of the movie entertainment industry. If you like what you see, consider hitting that subscribe button and purchasing Movie University merchandise.
YouTubeko kanal hau oso ondo dago. Zinemari buruz, pelikulei buruz eta bar ikasteko.
The turn of the 20th century. While the end result of entertaining audiences has always stayed the same, the methods of how things are done before, during, and after may surprise you. Let's take a look at how movies and television shows are made. It all starts with an idea. About half the time, someone will pitch an idea about a movie to a movie studio. Other times, someone from within the studio will come up with an idea and shop it around inside the company and seek approval. Studio executives and bigwigs will weigh the arguments of the movie.
Badaude, pelikulak egiten dituzten enpresak oso handiak, adibidez Disney, Marvel, DC eta horrelakoak milioiak inbertitzen dituztenak pelikula bat egiteko, eta gero inbertsio horrek etekinak ematen dizkiete, baina etekinak oso altuak dira. Esaterako, Liga de la Justicia filmarekin edo Vengadores pelikularekin, bai.
One of the things they'll consider are cost of making the movie or show,
Begira,
for who wants to see such a product,
pantalla berdea,
potential earnings at the box office,
iaia ez da gertatzen ezero.
chances of it becoming a breakout,
Guztia da,
interested parties in favor of financially
ez
supporting
da
the
erreala.
project, and the reputation it will give the studio. After a while, deciding on whether a project should or should not be greenlit.
Eta hau, benetan oso barregarria da ikustea nola pelikuletako borrokak nola grabatzen diren, eta iaia ez dira ukitzen, baina badirudi kolpeak ematen dituztera. Oso barregarria da ikustea nola egiten duten.
Scripts are written. This can take anywhere from a couple of months to a couple of years. During
Avatar
the
B.
proposal process or script writing, creative differences can pop up, causing staff members to leave the project. Sometimes these resolve themselves in the form of another but similar movie being made and being released around the same time from a different studio.
Batzuetan
Once a script is finalized, production
pelikuletako
ramps up in earnest.
historiak
Filming
errepikatzen dira.
locations are scouted, camera crews
Normala
are
da.
brought in, makeup artists booked, secondary directors hired, lighting crews found, costume department and computer graphics specialists are all hired to make the movie. While traditional film location scouting still occurs, a great deal of technology has
Begira
helped
zenolako
step
kamerak
in to allow
erabiltzen dituzten.
directors to see what locations or virtual sets will look like. Today, locations can be scanned into a 3D environment by a small local team. The data can be sent wherever the director and his staff are, allowing them to recreate the location in the virtual world. This allows them to have an idea of what challenges they will encounter.
Pelikula modernoetan, ia guztia, dira efektu bereziak, oso visualak, eta ikusten duguna da ez da erreala. Bakarrik batzuetan aktoreak dira errealak, eta gehienetan margosten dituzte edo dauzkate efektu bereziak beste pertsonaia egiteko.
If they choose to use this location. Some things to consider are what equipment to bring, how to work out logistics of bringing their equipment, food, water, and personnel, and angles to place the cameras for
ekipamendua erabiltzen
ideal
duten.
shots. Another area that is seeing a boom are visual aids and sets. While you may know that Hollywood likes to use a lot of green screen to make everything look
Hori da, green screen.
sequences.
Erabiltzen dituzten pantaila berdeak. Begira nola zeuden aktoreak, eta gero goian nola den pelikulan. Bai, guztia faltsua da. Ez da erreala. Guk pentsatzen duguna, baino faltsuagoa da. Eta oso ondo geratzen da.
One thing that is changing is the use of massive electronic screens that wrap around a set.
Pantaiak
One of the first
eta
movies
pantaiak
that used
leku
this extensively was
horotan.
Oblivion with Tom Cruise in 2013. However, since then, big productions like The Mandalorian have used the large screens to help envelop actors with a sense that they are actually in their environment on top of city.
Gero badaude beste pantaila mota batzuk, ez direna soilik berdeak, pantailak dira, baina inguruarekin bat egiteko, edo aktorei laguntzeko bere papera egiteko, egiten dute pantailak ahalik eta errealagoak pelikularekin egiteko.
Time on the back end of post-production special effects. This
Postprodukzioa.
helps eliminate the need for green screen technology altogether for large swaths of the movie, saving time and money. Camera resolutions and screen pixelation have come to the point where the human eye cannot tell the difference when watching the finished product. Once principal photography is complete, the raw footage is sent to computer graphics specialists to add in details in the movies on top of video editors to chop up the footage into the final product. During the editing process, the editors will also adjust the scenes to match a particular color palette.
Eta hau egia da, koloreen arabera, pelikulek transmititzen dituzten emozioak aldatzen dira. Esaterako, urdina erabiltzen badute emozio hotxeagoa izango da, eta aldiz, gero eta gorria, horia, laranja izatean, gero eta emozio alaitxua edo posagoa edo... Bai, halako tonalitateek inpaktu handia daukate guk ohartu gabe. Oso garrantzitsua da hori.
While all of this is happening,
Joker pelikula
there are
ere,
also sound editors who are working hand in hand with the video editors to add sound effects. From here, directors will give their opinions of scenes and hand instructions to support editors
gero
or directors to
dauzkate
make
ekipo
changes.
handiek
Once these changes
hori
are made,
kudeatzen
a
dutena,
more finalized draft is sent to the music composer of the movie, where a musical score is placed into the timeline. Once a director feels comfortable with this draft, it is sent to executives at the movie studio to screen the movie. They will give their feedback for changes they believe will be
musika
better
gero
for the
ere
audience.
egoten dira
Sometimes
inkestak,
reshoots are
kritikak,
required,
pelikulak
costing studios millions
hotzeko,
of dollars,
aldatzeko.
as was the case with Rogue One and Justice League. After several back and forths on this, the movie will be tested in front of a small showing of volunteers from the general public. Based on their feedback, the studio may decide to make changes or allow the
Batzuetan
current
aldatzen
version to be
dituzte
released.
pelikulak,
From here, a
publiko
special screening is arranged for movie
handiago
critics
batera
to allow them to write about the movie in
bideratzeko.
newspapers and websites, drumming up interest and giving the movie some free publicity. This is where you come in. Based on box office returns and audience...
Horrezagatik oso importantea da pelikulentzat eta enpresentzat probak egitea eta publikoaren pertsonen feedbacka, bai, hartzea, eta euren iritzia ezagutzea zure pelikula ahalik eta pertsona gehien ikusteko eta kalitate hoberena izateko. Eta jarraitzen dugu pelikula baten prozesua ikusten.
Is called the development phase. Here, the script is into a series of key moments and is eventually formed into a workable script. The first stage is called the development phase. Here, the screenwriting and idea forming process leads to pre-production, which has multiple steps within itself.
Bai, pelikula bat egiteko lehenengo pausua da preprodukzioa, gidoia, ideiak eta pentsamenduak egitea. Hau, ekipo batek egiten du, batzuetan pelikularen zuzendariak edo inguruko taldeak.
Casting, securing funds, location scouting, set building,
pertsonak
hiring crew
aukeratzeko,
members, and much
aktoreak,
more. Then we head into the production phase. This is where the actual footage is shot. The bulk of the main footage that is shot here is often referred to as principal photography. Next, we head into the post-production phase, which is my personal favorite part of the process. Here, all the footage that was shot is edited together, color graded, sound effects are added, and visual effects are used to bring the film into its...
Bai, behin dena grabatuta da postprodukzioa. Eta horretan editatzen dute, kolorea, fotogramak ipintzen dituzte, efektuak, bai, efektu bereziak, hori guztia postprodukzioan egiten da.
Final form. After the film is complete, it's time for the world to see it. The final stage is the distribution phase. Here, the marketing for the film takes place.
Eta hori eginda da pelikula saltzea. Hau da, marketing. Publizitatea, iragarkiak, telebistan ipintzea, irratian, zuk pelikula hori ikusteko.
Marketing can consist of social media posts, trailer releases, cast appearances on talk shows, and then the film is screened in theaters or released to streaming platforms. Once the film is out in the wild, it's time to start the whole process over again. Let's look at each individual phase of the filmmaking process in even more depth so that we can all have a better understanding.
Daukagu development dela hori pentsatzea, garapena, gidoia, preprodukzioa, pertsonaiak hautatzea, aktoreak, zuzendaria, production, filma grabatzea, hau da, tomak, eta bar, postprodukzioa, toma horiek eta grabatutakoa editatzea, eta azkenik distribuzioa, grabatutakoa eta editatutakoa, saltzea, marketing publizitatea egitea, eta ahalik eta leku guztietatik saltzea eta ezagutaraztea publiko orokorrarentzat.
Of this medium that we all love. In the world of Hollywood, the development phase is spearheaded by film studios, whose top executives interact with producers, screenwriters, directors, and actors to find stories and ideas that they think are going to make them the most money. Ideas and stories are often adapted from...
Logikoki, pelikulak egiteko hautatzen dituzten gidoiak oso bereziak dira, oso ondo idatzita daude, eta gehienetan, askotan, oso ondo ateratzen dira eta historio oso politak egiten dituzte.
Real world issues, the media, novels, plays, comics, video games, and much more. And often these are paired with writers to develop story ideas for film studios. And screenplays can also be sold to film studios who are looking for stories in a specific genre. Many times, after a script is decided upon, it may go through multiple rewrites before it's finally given the green light to proceed into the
Eta hori egia da, gidoiak behin eta berriz berri idazten aldatzen dituzte, eta berriz aldatzen dituzte, bai, ahalik eta perfekzio maila gorena izateko.
Production phase. For independent filmmakers like many of you watching this video, the development process will be much more straightforward. With us toiling away at a shot list or script, often collaborating with a writing buddy or producing partner until we are satisfied and move on to the next phase. In the larger Hollywood world, the pre-production process is a series of carefully planned steps and designs. Many options are available for large Hollywood film studios, and the studios spend tons of money in bringing their projects to life. Here, all the planning must take place before any footage is captured.
Egia da, pelikula asko, preprodukzio fasean aurrera ateratzen dira, baina beste batzuk ez. Dirua, aktoreak, zuzendaria dela eta azkenean proiektu horrek, pelikula horrek porrot egiten du. Eta izan da, Sarean Ikusitakoa. Pelikula bat egitea prozesu oso luzea da eta batzuetan oso nekagarria. Dirua, pertsonaiak, zuzendariak, zuk ezagutzen zenuen halako prozesua pelikula egiteko? Zeri buruzkoa izango da hurrengo bideoa? Utzi dazu hemen. Laster arte!